Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here. It is the 17th of February 2021. Before we get into it, if I may make the usual opening request for a favour, and that is if you would please subscribe to the channel, that would be outstanding and certainly appreciated. Now today we'll look at Girlschool. For those of you old enough to remember way back to the early 1980s as the new wave of British heavy metal was sweeping all before it, Girlschool were right at the forefront of that, and just as good as anybody else in my opinion. You know, what a band, and they're still active today, some 40 years on from those days as well. And I must admit that recently Girlschool had like slipped out of my mind for quite a while, and it wasn't until the other day when I was hunting around for something in a stack of shelves that I came across some singles on vinyl that I still owned from back then that I'd forgotten all about, and included in that stack of singles were early Girlschool stuff like Demolition, Emergency, and whatnot on good old-fashioned vinyl. 7-inch vinyl, man, brought it all back. Anyway, that got me thinking, man, I ought to start listening to Girlschool again. I haven't for a while, and all the old vinyl albums from 1980 onwards, they've either been lost or misplaced or destroyed or whatever, and I just don't have them anymore. So I know what what we all do. I'll go on Amazon and surely I can pick them up, but they were a little bit difficult to find on there or impossible. And then I saw this, the box set here. We've got Girlschool The Bronze Years, which has their first 4 albums in a nice little box set for around about 20 quid. Bargain. Hit that button. It arrived the next day. All 4 albums reasonably priced in a nice sturdy box. Excellent. Put them all in. We've got the debut album, Demolition. We've got the follow-up, Hit and Run. The 3rd album, Screaming Blue Murder. And the 4th, Play Dirty. It was so good to hear them all again after many, many, many years. Back in the early 80s, I saw them play many times. And indeed, the girl I was with at the time, I used to wind her up a little bit by pretending that I had a bit of a thing for the band's bass player back then, Ian Williams. Perhaps I did, who knows, but it used to wind her up a little bit, and you know that was all part of the fun, wasn't it? But that's another story for another day. Girlschool sounded, well, they still do, even though these albums are 40 odd years old, some of them. It's fresh, powerful stuff. There's some real swagger and attitude behind it all as well. And 3 of these 4 albums for me are stone cold classics, and one of them is, well, not my bag at all. Let me try and explain. The debut album, Demolition, classic, done and done and done. Full of short, to the point, hard-hitting rockers, a lot of power behind them, and we've got a snarling guitar of Kelly Johnson. Man, what a player she was, the late Kelly Johnson. What a guitarist. Demolition, it's all straight in your face with a bit of a spiky, punky edge in places as well, but classic from start to finish. Check out in particular, you know, Demolition Boys, thundering stuff. Take It All Away, impossibly catchy. The phenomenal Emergency, fast stuff. All this album's delivered at, you know, breakneck speed, breathtaking style, and there's even quite a frantic cover of Race with the Devil. Marvellous from start to finish. The follow-up to that, Hit and Run, followed the same kind of delivery. We got Come On Let's Go, what an irresistible opener that is. The title track, again, fantastic, ridiculously catchy, and so is the monstrous Yeah Right. And you know, they do another cover on this. There's a really rip-starting, snarling cover of ZZ Top's Tush. Fantastic stuff. And the bonus tracks at the end of the Hit and Run in this box set include the legendary and riotous Head Girl EP, which, you know, you probably remember. Girlschool and Motorhead were like best buds, went on tour, played together a lot. and they did this EP as Head Girl, which included man, I can't remember. It slipped my mind. But anyway, it's Marb. Oh, Please Don't Touch, wasn't it? That's right. And then Motorhead did a version of a Girlschool song, and Girlschool did Bomber, I think it was. But fantastic stuff. Can't go wrong there. After that, we have Screaming Blue Murder, and the winning formula of the first two albums continue here, but there were some signs starting to creep in that Girlschool were starting to explore some more melodic leanings. But Screaming Blue Murder is still a strong performer from start to finish. And so those first three albums for me, stone cold classics. But what lets it down, and again, this is just my opinion, might not be yours. The fourth album, Play Dirty, for my money, it's a rather weak affair. Perhaps it was a deliberate ploy from the band to stray further into that melodic territory, maybe trying to go a little bit more mainstream, in inverted commas, to pay the bills, maybe a bit more slicker. Maybe it was aimed at America. I don't know, but for me, it just doesn't work. It's not a Girlschool album. Got their name on it, but it's not them. It's not them for me. The overly slick production job doesn't work either, in my opinion. That was Play Dirty was produced by none other than Slade's duo, Noddy Holder and Jimmy Lee, and to me it's far too slick, it's far too overproduced, and it sounds weak, it sounds tame, and you get the feeling by listening to it that the power's still there, it's just not being allowed to escape. And it isn't until really the last song here, Breakout, that Girlschool starts sounding like Girlschool. But again, that's just my opinion. The Bronze Years, with these first four albums from Girlschool, it really is so good to hear them again. Well, apart from Play Dirty, and it just showed what a great band they were back then, and indeed still are today. Excuse me. And you know they really did rock as hard as anybody else. They punched us just as good as anybody else, and indeed a lot more than most. This is an excellent box set indeed, and just go out and buy it. It's as simple as that. Just go out and buy it. If you'd like to, there is a link as always in the description to the album on Amazon. There's also a link back to the post on the website if you'd like to read that as well. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That'd be excellent. And of course, as always, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and take care.